has settled for the details because residents of La and its environs are lamenting the no-show on the La General Hospital more than 2 years after sword was cut for commencement of work on it. The facility, which was serving those in the catchment area, was razed down amid claims it was in a dilapidated condition. But 2 years after, the edifice has been converted into a park, leading to agitations among residents. Here's a report put together by Manuel Kranting a year ago.
Hospital. Let me at the outset thank the hard
President Akufo-Addo speaking at a ceremony on August 10, 2020 to cut sword for the reconstruction of the La General Hospital. This was after the old 5-story facility was torn down in March same year for, among other things, lacking structural integrity. The new building was to be completed in 24 months. A year on, the land has been overtaken by weeds with no contractor on site. The facility, which was formerly known as the La Polyclinic, had for years served communities in and around La, Osu, Teshi and Nungwa. Since it was pulled down, residents here have grappled with the reality of traveling to other facilities to access healthcare. Sarah Okutu has lived in La all her life.
Before they were going to demolish it, they came to call those around this community. They asked us whether when they demolish it, it will be okay for us. Because we want a new hospital. So we agreed. But now they came to demolish the thing, and they even said they are coming to start. Up to now, no foundation, nothing. They even put up a signboard that the president said, and people are saying, thank you, Mr. President, for rehabilitation our hospital. But still up to now, no foundation.
Just a few meters from the site, there's a raging conversation about the delay of the project. These are pensioners who used to frequent the facility.
The impact is great, because now, if we are sick, you go here, just walking distance, you go to the polyclinic. Now, either you have to take her to go to Kolebu, police hospital, 37, or private hospital, or Lekma. And that one, you have to pay transport. You pick her. If it's serious, you pick dropping. Your money will go. That's the most serious impact on our lives over here.
There's a lady here. Baba, oh, nika ebi ene pete ni a rush le no. She because of nas akalaya to come traffic ni your mami. Pi. Kanye pi ana abugbe. Negbo. Nika bi ene no na wo leke je children na akalete polyclinic. If I survive,
they swear the Bible. What is the reason of swearing the Bible? Then they lie. They lie. Me all the time telling God that God is merciful. God is a merciful God. Other than that, one day, all of us will go and you created a different generation.
Do you think government lied to you?
Eh?
Do you think government lied to you?
Lied to you. And the hospital is there. They haven't built it. Why is it that you know that you are not coming to do it at a very elite stage? Why should you break them down? Last one of my friends here, before they write them down, she died.
In the interim, most residents who cannot afford to travel to other facilities depend on the La Polyclinic. The problem, however, is that the polyclinic is severely constrained.
We didn't have space to relocate the machine here. We don't have theater here. All the specialties like pediatrics, internal medicine, surgery, and what's the name? Obs and gynae. We don't have all the specialties here. Our bed complement is just about 4 here, as compared to the 167 bed capacity that we had at the old site. We don't even have an emergency ward here, so we can't detain cases over 24 hours. You see, we are now preparing for an emergency.
The impact of the situation goes beyond just the cost in transportation to other facilities. 66-year-old Ivy Bedema lives about 150 meters away from the old hospital. She lost her sister Henrietta Bedema in January 2021 through a medical emergency. She believes her sister would probably still be alive if they got a bed in a hospital.
Because just last 2 months, my sister died because she have a heart problem and she's diabetic.
So when we went to police hospital, they said there's no bed. So she has to be going every day to take her drips. Last minute when we went, she took the drip, and when she came in the midnight around 2 o'clock, something happened when we took her to police hospital. By the time we rushed her there, she's gone. They're supposed to admit her so that we know what is wrong with the heart, because she was complaining about heart pain. But there's no bed, so there's nothing they can do about it than to take care of her, treat her, and then come back home. So in the midnight, it started again. That's where we realized that something is wrong. They rushed her to the hospital. It's too late. The doctor said she's dead. Supposing the polyclinic is there, they will rush her or they will leave her there till she recovers. But there's no polyclinic, there's no general hospital again. So that's our problem. The government should do something about it.
Beyond the impact on healthcare delivery, the demolishing of the hospital took away with it the livelihood of vendors who depended on the hospital staff, patients, and their visitors to sell their wares.
Beni aba baba kumbe for many ba Chinese ba me ba. Sina kumata na ba cat so that me wona me don up to now. Yeah be tu enyo. Ene no ho ke kwa me. No ni 250. Oh fi me ni na me pa ba container store sele na me pa ba. Be kan bi atade ke ni ka agbe na pa ba na bi ni yo. Ke junction ni. Na hu committee enwe party je pa. Oh me bi e pa ba. What an
estimated cost of 68 million euros, the project was to span a period of 24 months. 12 months into the project, this plan is yet to be translated from the artist's drawing board onto the ground. While government continues to give assurances of its workings to bring the project to fruition, the community, and by extension, the residents within the area, are those who bear the brunt of a lack of proper health care. From here in South La, in Accra, my name is Manuel Kranting, reporting for Joy News.
Meanwhile, ranking member of the Health Committee, Kwabena Minta Akando, is accusing government of misapplying the funds meant for the project. Let's go to my colleague, Parker Wilson, who's been following the Health Committee members for this tour. Parker, what can you report? All right, it seems like we've lost Kwesi Parker Wilson, and he's been following the Health Committee for this tour, and we will try to get him in later in the bulletin. But let's go to the Ashanti region, because let's go back to Parker Wilson. You've been following the Health Committee members for this tour. What can you report for us?
Maps, I have been to the ground, and I can report to you that the site is no different from a football park. What you see is only one trip of sand and one trip of gravel. Portions of the site has been overgrown with weeds and nothing going on there. I was in the company of the ranking member of Health, Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando. Now, I just want to engage him briefly on this. Honorable, what prompted for this visitation, sir?
Yeah, the Honourable Member of Parliament for the constituency, that's Ladade Kotopon, has consistently been finding out from the committee whether there is any new development with respect to that particular hospital. Because as far as I'm concerned, the agreement was brought to the committee and we approved it, came back to the plenary and we approved it somewhere in 2020. And so the demolition exercise took place somewhere in March 2020, and the president himself went there in August 2020. So 2 years down the lane, the expectation is that if they have not completed, they are near completion. And you recall that when the minister responsible for health was being vetted for his second term of office, he also indicated that the project was near completion. So there was that kind of contradictions and confusions in the system. So myself, together with a member of parliament of the constituency and some members on the minority side of the health committee, decided to pay a working visit to the place to ascertain or assess the development so far. Unfortunately, when we went, as you have already indicated, it was nothing different from a football field.
But I mean, what's your suspicion? Because you say that the loan agreement has been approved, and are you expecting that some work go on at the site? What's your suspicion?
I think I have the strongest conviction that probably the money has been misapplied.
Misapplied?
Yes.
I mean, you don't have any evidence to back your claim.
Because you see, what will make any government, after assessing money for 2 years, what will make any government abandon the project whilst you have assessed the money? You see, there are two things here. This is how we deal with parliamentary agreement or loan agreement when it comes to parliament. Before you come to parliament, all the feasibility studies must be completed before you come to parliament. So once we approve it, what you do is that you engage the contractor, mobilize the contractor, then you go to site. In some instances, work must even commence before the sod is cut. Okay. In this case, the president himself went to the site to cut the sod. Well, there are two instances here. If they so think that they are unable to access the money, what you do is that you come back to parliament. When you are unable to access the fund, you come back to parliament with a different source so that we approve it for you to go back to site and come. And that has been done over and over again. I mean,
but they've not come back to parliament. So you think that they've been able to
for me, once, as far as I'm concerned, and per our records, we have approved the fund. And so they should be on site. So where is the money?
Now, finally, you are the ranking on the health committee. What are you going to do together with the MP for the area to ensure that the reconstruction is kickstarted?
Okay, so there are a number of measures in place. As for me, and I must be very honest with you, the people of La have been exceedingly patient. Demonstration is overdue. It's long overdue. Okay, we are talking about health facility, and in the national capital, look at how strategic the facility is. This is Osu, this is La, this is Cheshi, Nungwa, and what have you. Okay, so now the MP for the area has 5 series of questions. We will also make sure that we will go back to the site there, because we think that any responsible government after this exercise may respond to the people. So we are waiting to see how government will respond to our call today. And we will not relent on our efforts. You know me, we will pursue it till there's a rare commencement of the project.
Thank you very much. So, Mapito, that's the Member of Parliament for Drabosto, Mintakando, and the ranking on the health committee, saying that there was sustained pressure to ensure the reconstruction is kickstart.
Thank you very much. That's my colleague, Kwesi Park-Olsen, and he's been having a conversation with the ranking member of the Health Committee, Kwabena Minta Akando. Let's go to the Ashanti region now, where polling station elections of the New Patriotic Party have been fraught with misunderstandings and disturbances in some constituencies in that region. Now, some aggrieved members have accused constituency leaders of skewing the election processes in favor of their preferred candidates. This, they say, will cause disaffection towards the party in the next general election. Now, Juma has been speaking with some aggrieved party supporters in some of MPP strongholds and filed this report.
The New Patriotic Party scheduled the election of polling station executives and electoral area coordinators for February 19 to March 5, 2022, under the supervision of committees whose membership are specified. At Ejiso, aggrieved members of the party, clad in red, protested the election held on February 26th. They accused the party's leadership of failing to properly constitute the election committee and to communicate a date for the election. Acting First Vice Chairman speaks for 12 of the constituency executives and other aggrieved party supporters.
It was not only shocking, but unbelievable when at exactly 7:22 a.m., the acting chairman was heard on Kesbin FM saying elections had been conducted in the constituency. According to him, the exercise began at 7 a.m. and ended by 7:22. That is unbelievable. At the time he was talking to the radio station, it was over in all the 205 polling stations across the constituency. So it took them 22 minutes to conduct elections at all 205 polling stations within the constituency.
In the 2020 presidential election, the New Patriotic Party garnered 68,724 votes against the NDC's 14,488 votes in the Joso. Mr. Chumesin team is worried the numbers will reduce for the NPP in the next election if emerging issues are not resolved.
We appeal to the leadership of this party to nullify whatever was done or in the name of elections within this constituency, so that things can be done afresh, hearts can calm down, and then we can move on as a constituency. We want to save this party.
Known as Florida, the Bantama constituency is one of the sure bets for the NPP in every election, making 86.18% of votes in the area. Prince York aspires to be a polling station organizer at Bushen electoral area. Prior to the polling station election, he claims to have been attacked by some thugs in relation to the election.
The thugs knocked angrily on the door of the office when the officers were preparing for the elections the next morning. We inquired why they are making so much noise. They then attacked us, hitting me with a plastic chair.
It is alleged the same suspected thugs also disrupted the elections. Nana Boache is an aspiring constituency youth organizer.
So how the papers that were supposed to be used, the forms that are supposed to be used in the elections are no more. And therefore we need to make another form, some form for other people so that we can start the whole process again. Where are the forms? Forms where that is what I'm saying. These forms were stolen. So the tax stole the forms, sent the forms away, and we are preparing other ones to do.
Meanwhile, another group has emerged claiming the NPP leadership in the constituency is manipulating the election in favor of their preferred candidates. Spokesperson Ebo Boyson has refuted claims this group disrupted the election with thugs. He is calling for nullification of results declared so far in the Bantama constituency.
Because what is happening in Bantama here, if K is not taken, I repeat, if K is not taken, Bantama will be a Bantam area. Thank you. So we are drawing the attention of our leaders that they should come to the aid of Bantama because they want to cheat Bantama. And if Bantama falls, the MPP will fall. Yeah. I repeat, because MPP in Bantama is the heart of the party. And if the heart ceases to function, that means the party will soon die.
In the Ofoekrom constituency, a group is also kicking against a decision to retain all old executives. In a press statement, the concerned youth of Ofoekrom kicked against electoral area coordinators appointing polling station executives for newly created polling stations instead of an open contest. Similar incidents of imposition and discrepancies have been recorded in the Adanse Asuka constituency as some persons are denied forms to contest the polls. In all the agitations, party members fear it could lead to disaffection towards the party, depriving them of the agenda to break the age. For JoyNews, Nanaya Ojima reporting.
Let's do some other stories now, because President Akufo-Addo has charged the newly elected leadership of the Pan-African Youth Union to use their mandate to insist on democratic governance in all African countries and further fight against military interventions and takeovers. Addressing the newly elected leadership of the Pan-African Youth at the Jubilee House, President Akufo-Addo said there are very serious issues confronting the African continent, and it is only through the promotion of democratic responsibility that the continent's challenges can be dealt with. Dean of the University of Ghana Faculty of Law, Professor Raymond Atuguba, at a public lecture this week, expressed concern about Ghana's current socio-economic conditions. According to him, Ghana's current financial state is a threat to its democracy. He noted that studies have confirmed that an ailing economy facilitates all successful coup d'etats in the sub-region.
We do not want a coup in this country. Yet I fear that if we do not act quickly, we may have one in our hands very soon. A former colleague, doctoral student at Harvard, wrote his dissertation also on Ghana. He now teaches at a war college in the US. Imagine the name of the college, War College. Whilst my topic was on the Ghana police, his topic was on the Ghana military. Naturally, our paths intersected, and we have remained friends since. My friend's PhD thesis was on the topic, quote, why certain coups succeed and why others fail. His case study was Ghana. My current assessment that Ghana may be ripe for a coup partly springs from the knowledge I gained from accompanying my friend through part of his doctoral research on this topic. It does not help matters if we consider Samuel Huntington's thesis on the snowballing effect of coups in the sub-region and the closeness of recent coups to whom. I urge my good friend, the Minister of National Security, Honorable Kandapa, to have a conversation with my friend at the War College. The economy of Ghana today. A big part of why certain coups succeed and others fail is the economy. What is the state of Ghana's economy today? At the level of the most irreducible idiomaticity, Ghana is broke. Your nation is radically broke.
But addressing the youth group, President Akufo-Addo emphasized that the phenomenon of coups are not part of the African continent, the progress that it should have had.
Issues before our continent are well known. How to engender the peace and security of our continent, promote good governance in Africa, and of course, as a result, accelerate the development of our economies, improve the living standards of our people. These are the main issues before us in our generation. And you've been given a very important role in realizing this vision of Africa's future. We have to insist on good governance. We have to insist on democratic responsibility on our continent. We have seen what the eras of coups and military intervention did on our continent in our various nations. They didn't bring us the progress that we would have had. And so to preach the lessons, the virtues of democratic engagement, to preach the virtues of Africa being responsible and capable of promoting and defending its own interests, this is a very heavy responsibility that has been imposed on you. But I hear you, and I can discern from what I've heard from both of you, you in French and him in English, that you're up to the task. You'll have the support of this government and myself personally in whatever you're doing, so long as it is geared towards these goals.
The Pan-African Youth Union is the coordinating body for youth organizations at the national, regional and continental Africa. The union has a mandate from the African Union heads of state and has headquarters in Sudan. The union is an advisory agency for the Youth Commission of the African Union and is currently supported by the African Union Youth Program. Let's do other stories now. And here in Accra, many traffic lights are not functioning, thus a danger to road users. Persons who work or live close to the traffic lights say they witnessed many accidents due to this. In the following report, Efwa Wafo looks at the situation at Nima Junction, where the police manually control traffic and are frustrated as a result.
A recent survey by the National Road Safety Authority reveals nearly half of the traffic lights in the Greater Accra region are not functioning. Nima Junction, one of the busiest intersections located near President Akufo-Addo's residence, has had its traffic lights malfunctioning since the last 4 months. Just a few days ago, a motorcyclist nearly collided with a passenger vehicle at this intersection. Lydia Toby, a food vendor here, explains how her business has been impacted by the accidents there.
From 6 p.m., all traffic lights turn red, making it difficult for us to cross. It's the responsibility of the police to direct vehicles whenever the traffic stops functioning, but it's not so. They only show up when there's an accident which affects my business, because no one prefers crossing over to make purchase.
Affecting me, Papa, because I'm no obi ntimi ntwa mu mase oba beta aduane ozo obi ote osrete sika o ko twakwan no makwaje aduane wa nana police for soldiers for no omo man aduane o pan wawu yakosie no.
Lydia is not the only one affected. Motorists and pedestrians are equally worried about the situation.
This traffic light there, it has caused many accidents here. Many, not one, not too many accidents. People are dying here. It affects me more because I'm a rider. It can happen to my friends, it can happen to me.
Authorities should fix these traffic lights because it is closer to the president's house. Vehicles can collide at any time.
Authorities are not willing to fix it. What else can we do? But we are hoping that gets fixed.
You just need to be careful when using the intersection. There's no need to rush.
Frankly speaking, the traffic light is not working, and I don't know what the government is doing about it. It affects my movement because actually I don't know if I should cross or not.
Every evening, anytime we come around, the light has been always off, and there are so many casualties that happen on this road.
I don't think we have a traffic light in Ghana because all the traffics are not working. Akufo-Addo's junction, the Nima junction, the traffic light is not working.
A senior MTTD official at the Nima police station, Inspector Zakaria Isad, said they've been left frustrated after several reports to the Urban Roads Department have failed to yield results. He explains the malfunctioning lights is due to the faulty battery cells.
A less than 20-minute severe rainstorm has wreaked havoc in the Volta regional capital of Ho. Per the initial assessment by the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, 4 schools, households, business centers, billboards have been affected, with 3 persons injured. JoyNews' Fred Kwamasari accompanied the Ho MCA Divine Boston Assembly and NADMO officials to assess the situation.
An initial assessment by the National Disaster Management Organization revealed that the Senate Flats Presby Basic School was the hardest hit. The storm ripped off the roofing of a 3-unit classroom block, drenching learning and teaching materials. Vivian Kofi is the headmistress of the Senate Flats Presby Basic School in Ho.
So currently, the children are being taught under trees, and the rains have just started. So we are pleading with everyone, if this information gets to you, any way that can be of help, we need urgent help. In form of roofing sheets, the roofing nails, the wood, everything that you can help us with. The books, to some of them, have been affected. So please come and help us. We need your help.
The Ho MCE, Divine Boston, after having first-hand information about the disaster, promised to mobilize some materials to repair the damages.
We have given our words that immediately iron sheets will be provided. I have placed call, so my NADMO and work engineer will go for the iron sheets immediately, and we are talking that we should partner in solving this problem, and we agree. We have already agreed on some terms. Yeah. So once that thing is, the iron sheet is provided and the workers are ready to work, maybe by close of tomorrow, this place should be fixed. By Monday, the children should have a place to learn. Yeah.
The roofing of 2 classrooms of the EP Banque Basic School was also ripped off, compelling teachers to combine classes. A class and an office of the whole Banque RC Girls Basic School was not spared by the storm, with portions of the science lab of the Malco Girls Senior High School damaged. Several households, billboards and commercial centers, including the popular God Day building, were affected by Wednesday's rainstorm, leaving 3 people injured. The Whole Municipal NADMO Director, Stephen Adigon, said the disaster was widespread across the municipality.
Our staffs are on the field, still doing assessment, and I'm assuring you that by the close of the day, we will get the total of houses and stores that have been affected to the media. In fact, we pray that this shouldn't happen again. But I only want to use this opportunity to thank the electricity, the police, the Ghana Telecom. Immediately the disaster happened yesterday, I called them. Their response was very quick and were able to disconnect some of the wires that needs to be disconnected.
Mr. Bosson appealed to individuals and organizations to support the assembly to repair the damages caused.
And those that we can be fixing through the workers of the assembly have already begun. It will continue, but we can't do it alone. What's happened? We may need over 300 bundles of iron sheet or more to satisfy the need of the victims. So we are calling on every well-meaning Ghanaian, home and abroad, people living in the whole municipality, businesses, that they should come on board. I'm even calling on the timber market people.
Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News. Who?
You're still watching Joy News Desk with me, Peter CBD. Up next is business.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Government has been urged to increase taxes on imported rice to boost local production and reduce the pressure on the local currency. According to agri consultant Dana Quay, taxing imported rice could generate about $10 to $15 million annually, which could be invested in local rice production.
A lot of heavy lifting in the rice sector. If you look at the sector as we speak today, most of the available places that have been developed are already being cultivated, and we need to develop new areas. Development of land is not easy for a private sector. To prepare land for rice production is not difficult, but to develop a new place for rice production is very difficult, and that might call for over $500 million to develop the bottom valleys for more rice to be produced. And we cannot put everything on the private sector, neither can we put everything on the private sector. So we need the PPP approach. Therefore, if we are even getting $8 to $10 million a year from importation of rice, we can use that money to gradually develop the new rice area in Bono, Ashanti, Western region, Eastern region, and Northern Ghana. We can develop the rice sectors there. At the same time, if you look at the rice value chain, there are other areas of investment gap, which requires about $100 million revolving fund. Once we put import tax on rice, we can use that money to set up a revolving fund and create that fund for private sector to use. If we want to have a massive rice production approach, then we also have to modify the way we are financing rice and agriculture in the country. The traditional way of financing will continue to give us traditional results. And if we want a quantum leap and massive development in the sector, then we definitely have to also change the way we are financing the sector. And one of the ways to finance the sector is to have this revolving fund, which we can accrue from tax that is imposed on rice importation.
Now, a partner at accounting firm Deloitte Ghana Yao has called for a structural change in the economy if the country is to become financially independent and avoid pressures on the local currency. According to him, the nation can only grow to become like the Asian tigers by being in command of the economy. Speaking on weekly online program Joy Business Social, Mr. Latte warned if the country does not expand its manufacturing base to process its natural resources, it will always come under pressure.
We've seen our economy rising debt level over the period that we are talking about. Our debt levels very low in 1957. Today, our debt is $60 billion and over, and still rising. Yet, we have not seen that impact on growing the economic base of the economy. So, if we don't change the structure of the economy, where in the first place, we are exporting raw materials, and we are having other countries add value to our cocoa, add value to our gold, add value to our timber, and add value to all the raw materials that we are exporting, and then bringing them back to us and selling them at a price that is higher than what we are exporting, then we are going to have our foreign reserve being depleted. And we are going to have issues with our depreciating local currency. So our economy structurally, we have not managed it. We have not changed it from the colonial economy, and we are still running a colonial economy. If we continue to do this, then what we are talking about today as Ghana Beyond Aid will be a mirage. If you want to see it happen, one, we have to change the structure of the economy. Two, we have to change our education that is focused on getting people to do white-collar jobs, which is still a colonial mindset, and focus on technical, vocational, and science education. Because all the economies that we are talking about, Singapore, Malaysia, and all the other tiger economies, they focus on science, technical, and vocational education of their people. And the science, technical, and vocational education, that's what is leading them, because they don't have the resources that we have. They don't have the land and the mineral resources that they have. They have used technical, science, and vocational education to transform the economy.
All right, more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. There's more to come after this break.
And today I have a very special guest. She's never been in this seat. And lovely to see you in this seat. Rosalind of Joy Prime. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I feel so good to be here.
You feel so good to be here. Good to have you. All right, now let's talk about 6th Sense. You guys have a new program coming up. Yes. Tell us about that.
It's a new program talking about beautiful ladies. 4 beautiful ladies will take a seat. Astute, intelligent, smart.
Yeah.
We discuss topics that you discuss at home but don't have answers to.
Okay.
We might be able to give you the answers you are looking for on that show.
Yeah.
Now, we have different personalities on there as well, different characters. So you're not looking at the same kind of mindset.
Okay.
You're looking at people, somebody who will give you the fun aspect, somebody who will give you the Christian side of it, somebody who will give you the political side of it. So it's like everything embedded in one.
Yeah.
A whole cocktail.
Now, if I want to watch this show, where can I watch it and what time?
It's on Sunday
on
Joy Prime TV at 5 p.m. That's when it's premiering, so you can't miss it. Everybody has to sit behind their television set on Sunday at 5 p.m. and watch it. Now, if you can't watch it on TV, of course, social media has made it so easy for you to watch it. So you can go on our Facebook page. It will be streaming live on there at 5 p.m. That's Joy Prime TV. Just watch it and have some fun. You know, the week is already stressful,
Of course, yeah.
So you need to get it relaxed. You need to hear opinions. You need to laugh. You need to cry when you have to cry. So watch 6th Sense. Don't miss it.
6th Sense, what are we discussing? It's our first edition. What are we discussing?
So you know everybody talks about corruption, and corruption is everywhere. So the first thing we talk about is corruption.
I see.
Yes. I don't know if you're corrupt. I don't know if I'm
corrupt. Not.
Of course, I know you, so you're not.
Please, I'm not. I'm not. Thank you.
And then we also talk about screen time with your children.
Okay.
How much screen time you should give to your children. And then we talk about one of the things that everybody talks about there, and that is you having access to your partner's phone. Whether you look at your partner's phone or not. But will you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
Of course.
Why do you?
Why not?
Hey.
You have access to me. I should have access to your phone.
What are you looking for there?
I'm just saying, I don't have to look for anything, but I have access to it.
Well, if you watch Sisters, you have all the opinions on there. And some saying, yes, you should. Others say, no, you shouldn't, with the reasons backing it. So you can't miss Sisters.
All right. Okay, so make sure, ladies and gentlemen, to join the 4 beautiful ladies at 5 p.m. on Sunday on the Joy Prime channel for 6 cents. Up next is sports. You're welcome back, and it's time for sports with my favorite person, Muftau, and he has promised to take me out on a date tonight as we celebrate our love. Eh? Ose?
The what?
Ekamini.
The what?
Muftau.
Dating.
Date.
Is it for March or?
It's for the independence. We're celebrating independence.
No, when you say date, it is the day, and today is 4th March.
Let's talk about Nigeria releasing the squad, please.
Okay.
Don't embarrass me on national television, Muftau.
I cannot embarrass
you. Can you imagine?
Say, let's go and eat. If you say we should go and eat,
Okay, let's go and eat and drink.
That's different.
Okay, Muftau says he was taking me out for eating and drinking.
But we said date today. Today is 4th March. Well, Nigeria, they've released their squad for the game against Ghana. There's a return for Igono Gallo. Okay. There's also a place for Ademola Lookman, who plays for Leicester. He just switched nationality to the Super Eagles recently. He's now a Nigerian. He was a Brit. Now he's a Nigerian. They've invited him to partake in this game. However, Ghana's squad will be coming next week. We expect it early next week.
Okay.
Maybe Monday or Tuesday, per the information available to us. There are also going to be some changes in terms of the squad that is going to come in per what we've been told. Most of the players who played at the African Cup of Nations, some of them are not going to be called up for this match.
Because
there are going to be some new faces. Otoado, like I mentioned a couple of days ago, have had conversations with some of the players why he doesn't want them around. He's told them, even if I'm not in charge, you still have a future with the national team. Continue to work hard, but he's had to look elsewhere for other players. I understand the likes of Jeffrey Sloves have been spoken to. There's Leroy Owusu. We understand he's also likely to get a call up into the Black Stars. The team is expected to start camping as early as next week, Friday, if they're able to put the squad together and announce.
Yeah.
And then definitely they will be getting ready to come up against the Super Eagles on March 25.
March 25. And where's the game going to be held?
The game is going to be at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium, but the second leg is going to be in Abuja.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the first leg.
So when's the second leg?
The second leg is March 29. That one is going to be a Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's March 25 and March 29.
Okay.
That's why the Super Eagles, their coach, Ego Von, he had gone to the UK to tour. He met most of the players before he decided to come out with a squad, and he also has a standby list. So should it happen that a player gets injured, those ones on standby will come in to replace them. And just to wrap up quickly with the President Cup tonight.
Yes.
Is the President Cup, the game you want to go and watch.
The game I am going to watch.
The game you are going to watch.
Thank
House
you.
of Oak versus Asante Kotoko. Which team will you be supporting?
What? You asking me that? You don't know that Asante Kotoko. Asante Kotoko. What's it then? Oh, Kasa about President's Cup. Kasa.
Okay. So President Cup is tonight. The president of the country is going to be there. He has promised to grace the match.
Oh, I see.
Yes. We understand that each club is expected to take 50,000 Ghana cedis as appearance fee for the game. The organizers of the game is the Ghana League Clubs Association, which is the mother body or welfare body of clubs in the country. And they are going to take 50% of the proceeds that will be made from the game.
Okay.
And then Wales House and Asante Kotoko will take 25% each. So the remaining 50% will go to the clubs. There's one concern, and the concern is that the Ministry of Youth and Sports earlier this week released a statement saying that people who are fully vaccinated are those who are going to have access into the match. But even Gorka themselves are very unsure that this is practicable because the chairman of the Ghana League Clubs Association, Kuje Fiano, following their last meeting where they met the government COVID-19 task force and all that, there was no certainty that that directive was going to be applied. However, we are committed to supporting government in some of these policies to ensure that lives are protected. They say that we cannot be enjoying football when we are losing lives, when we are not healthy.
True.
So they are committed to supporting government, but they are not sure that the directive starts effective today, as announced by the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wait, who's the captain of Asante Kotoko again? Who's the captain?
This question you know. He's called Abdul Ganiu.
Abdul Ganiu.
The club you support.
Relax. So Abdul Ganiu and your team, make sure that you don't embarrass me on the pitch this evening, okay? My enemies are looking at me and they will laugh at me if Asante Kotoko loses. Thank you very much. That's how we end JoyNews Desk here on DSTV 421 and GoTV 144. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Mapito CBD.